Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Aaron Newsom, and this is the We'll Make a Fan Out of You podcast, episode 3. This is the podcast where we talk about the wrestling world. Our aim is to make you a fan of us while we talk about the greatest entertainment on the planet. As I said, I'm Aaron Newsom. He is Nitesh T-Dog Sharma.
Banjo.
And this one is all about the Hall of Fame / Slammy Awards building up to WrestleMania. Hence my awful attempt at a Paul Heyman promo at the beginning. You can find us wherever you pick up any of your podcasts, and we're also on YouTube, but we'll make a fan out of you. And then Nitesh is going to get good at this. So
Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a prediction. This is a spoiler. You can find us on X, Instagram, and TikTok on the social handle at MakeAFanOfYou. Once again, that's at MakeAFanOfYou, and you'll be able to find us on X, Instagram, and TikTok. And just like what Aaron said, if you do want to watch this in video format, subscribe to us on YouTube. We appreciate all sorts of feedback. We are new. This will be a running occurrence. We're trying to stay consistent. We want to talk about what we are passionate about, and that is professional wrestling. And the Hall of Fame was on last night on the 5th of April, as we're recording this on the 6th, ready for it to be released as a bulk for WrestleMania season. And yeah, I thought it was a decent Hall of Fame. Didn't know many people apart from Paul Heyman, really, and the US Express as much, but yeah, I thought it was an all in all good showing.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. It was straight after SmackDown, which you could tell because they had the weird small stage, which looked all right until The Rock pops up. The lighting is not as good as it's been before. But yeah, it's a good Hall of Fame. I like how they do the Hall of Fame, the variety of people they put in. CM Punk says it in one of the interviews. I think it's for Paul Nakano, saying it's a great vehicle for people to get recognised. And I'd never heard of half the people on it. I knew who the US Express were. I couldn't tell you the names of them before we'd watched the Bray Wyatt documentary and then watched the Hall of Fame, really. Leah Maivia, you knew The Rock had a grandmother. You didn't know she was a pioneer in the Hawaiian wrestling promotion scene.
I did not know that at all until we watched the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
So it's really good. And just seeing that WWE do a really good job of promo reels in general, but also for Hall of Fame, showing you why that person's inducted. Muhammad Ali didn't really need an introduction apart from going, he's the greatest all-time boxer, and by the way, he's been a ref at WrestleMania. Thunderbolt Patterson, I didn't know much about, but you watch that highlight reel, and I was like, okay, I can see why they've chosen him. Paul Nakano, again, and all the interviews they did. Before the actual Hall of Fame started, they had Bayley interviewed about her, and that kind of helps drive home the importance of the person involved. Did you see much of it?
Not at all. I saw a clip on X where Keith Lee just popped up during CM Punk's interview, and then he was ushered away straight away. I was like, oh, Keith Lee, he's not injured. He's not got grey hair anymore. Oh, it's Keith Lee.
They had, Bayley was interviewed. They had a couple more interviews I skipped over. And then you got Drew was in the background of a shot with fedora on, and the man just oozed like class.
Everyone loves fedoras, don't they?
He can't pull that off at the ring. That's Seth Rollins' gimmick. Seth has to look the coolest. But Drew McIntyre was just sat there. I'm guessing it was his wife next to him. I might be wrong. I'm not sure. But I was just like, fair play, my dude. You're in the background of this shot, and I'm pretty sure the cameraman has took a step
get you in, yeah. That's Drew McIntyre.
Definitely.
He's got a fedora on.
Yeah.
He's oozing confidence.
Yeah. They had a really good Gunther promo for the Intercontinental Championship. Really built that belt up, I felt. He went through the history and basically told you why he was a big deal. And that kind of set the tone. We're going to actually go in reverse order because we've got the most talk about Paul Heyman and he was up first.
Which I thought was surprising, having the headline guy come out first. So, yeah, fans were doing it in reverse order.
He said why, though, didn't he? He said why. He said, basically, I overshot my time. They knew that was going to happen. They didn't want to rush him at the end, which unfortunately seemed to be what happened with The Rock. The Rock came out, he's a fast talker anyway, but he was going 100 miles a minute for his grandmother, Liam Maivia. It was really nice, to be fair. It was, as I said, the video promo was good. He had some nice words to say. He had a face-off with a fan, which I don't know if was...
I don't know if that was a plant. Yeah,
meant.
I'm not too sure if
I
it
don't
was
think
a
it
plant
was.
Or... Yeah, it just looked a bit awkward, because then he'll go, shut your fucking mouth at the end, and then it just went to black, so...
Yeah. He looked very upset, But yeah, why wouldn't they have cut that from away
Yeah,
from that beforehand if it
exactly.
weren't planned? But his acting's
Yeah,
gone up a
yeah,
level.
yeah.
Or he's just in his wheelhouse. He knows how to do it in the wrestling ring a lot more than he's good. I like him
Yeah.
in Hollywood movies. But yeah, he turned it into a bit of a promo. I didn't quite enjoy that one as much. I wanted more about
His grandmother,
his grandmother.
yeah, because it was like promoting WrestleMania Night 1, like his tag match.
Yeah.
And one thing I thought that was cool was that he made Cody stand up and just goes, "It's nothing personal. I do actually respect you, but
No, it's personal. Yeah, it's a good line. I liked how he got his mum to stand up. His mum did not look happy to being told to
no,
stand
yeah,
up.
she looked awkward.
But it's nice to give her some respect.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, that was just nice. As I say, it was rushed. I think the whole thing took 6-7 minutes. Not I was timekeeping or anything, but from when he got in the ring to him leaving and having that confrontation with the fan was like 7 minutes tops, which is unfortunate. I would have liked it to have been a bit longer. Then the one before that was Thunderbolt Patterson. The New Day come out. I love seeing.
Yeah, it was nice. The
on
two of them
screen.
come out and they just usher Biggie. Come on, yeah,
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 it was great, and they did their thing. I love the suits as well.
yeah.
The suits were
Biggie
badass.
went all gospel on our ass a bit.
Yeah, he went proper original New Day about it, and it was good. Thunderbolt Patterson come out, had to get help to the ring. He looked very frail, bless him. And
yeah,
it was weird.
It wasn't weird back in those days, especially in America.
Yeah, and it seemed the whole he did a prayer and then he went on a bit of a rant. It was still in prayer really for a big majority of it. I like they gave him time. I liked how they didn't force him off or cut him off, which was the right thing to do. Give him his time. It's to honour him. But yeah, it was a bit weird.
Yeah, we'll just skim over that one. Yes, the prayer was like what he was mainly talking about, but then alluding to the person that walked him out, said when Dory Funk Jr. was booking Thunderbolt Patterson in a state in Texas, they were like, he can't come because apparently the sheriff's wife was murdered. Turns out the sheriff actually murdered his wife, and Thunderbolt was there still, so because the drawings were of said Thunderbolt Patterson.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I want to go back and actually watch some more footage of him wrestling because the bits they showed looked good.
I agree.
Yeah, so then just before that, oh god, the tears.
Yeah, I started to well up. Yeah,
US Express. Yeah, so you had Kat and I'm going to say Bo Dallas, Taylor Rotunda and Micah Rotunda come out to induct their uncle and father, and everyone knew it was going to be sad. WWE knew what they're doing because they did the Bray documentary just before it. The Fireflies started straight away, and to be fair to both brother and sister,
they
how
kept
they
it together
as well
so
as they did.
wow. Yeah,
I don't know what the sister does as a job as well, but she did three quarters of that. Taylor was like, no, you take the lead, and she nailed that. The tribute to her brother, her uncle, her old man. And then they came out, and they just made me smile watching them two come out to the ring. And
just talking about how they were a part of the first WrestleMania. Although they did lose the tag team championships, they paved the way of tag team wrestling. And you can clearly see that now with teamwork and the double team moves and everything like that. They were the sort of trailblazers of that.
Yeah, there was lots of the footage you watched, and if it wasn't so grainy and hold, you could have been argued that, that's a standard tag match now. Some of the stuff they were doing, and because you've seen some tag matches through the past, like I've started watching older Manias to get history in me, and some of those tag matches are awful.
Yeah.
Most of the matches in general are awful back then, but that's because it's not the style I grew up watching. And the tag matches especially, there's not much teamwork. Like, one of the biggest bugbears I've got now is you watch a tag match and, they're not working well together. And why has the team that's just been put together beat the established tag team who show they work together well, they know each other's moves.
They have that teamwork. They're on the road together. They clearly worked outside of the ring to become a cohesive unit. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then there's a good nod to Dusty Rhodes as well, saying how he put them together. He called for a baby face. One of them went down. Did he say Florida or did he say he was... I can't remember now. But yeah, they put them together and Dusty kind of made them a tag team. which is nice. It was Dusty Rhodes was called out 2 or 3 times in this.
Because you know that he is actual wrestling royalty, from a nobody to a somebody.
Unlike you, who
I
claims
am wrestling
himself.
royalty.
And then you had the Muhammad Ali, the celebrity.
Just going before that, sorry. How nice was it when IRS got his torch out and then did the Firefly thing, and then it turned to be Bray Wyatt's entrance that he had, and the Fireflies were going at it. That was a really nice touch and a nice homage to Bray Wyatt, who fans wanted him to be in the Hall of Fame. I disagree with that. It should be in a few years' time.
Yeah, it'll be at some point. He'll be in there, no doubt, because his body of work. It wasn't even a short time, really. It was quite a while Bray Wyatt got to spend in the WWE. It was his home. He will be in there. As Triple H has said, I think, in an interview, or it was a snippet someone had put up, I've seen, basically saying it's a bit too raw and it's a bit too soon.
I agree.
They were said that he rang up the US Express to say, we're going to induct you guys, and they all thought it's for Bray. And they kind of hashed out, saying, no, it's a bit too raw, a bit too soon. If it's Bray Wyatt being inducted, everyone would be crying.
Yeah.
And the
if it was Bray Wyatt, he should be the headliner.
Yeah, whichever year he goes in, he absolutely is headline. Yep. Going forward then, Muhammad Ali, he was the first ever Mania special guest referee. He ran people around the ring from what I can remember.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Yeah, the whole speeches and that for it. Undertaker came out and gave a good speech to induct him before Muhammad Ali's wife came in to accept it. It was really good, the way they put it together, because you don't have to say much about him.
Everyone knows Muhammad Ali.
Everyone knows who he is.
He is the greatest of all time.
Yeah, you outlined a little bit of going, here's what he did outside the WWE. Here's what he did while he was in it. And then you just celebrate him, and that's what they did. They gave a weird belt to The Rock for being the People's Champ. I never knew the story of The Rock asking for permission.
Which is a nice touch. He didn't ask permission for the final boss, though, did he?
It's because he is the... Wow, no, he must have asked his mum. He pointed that out, didn't he?
But yeah, no, in 1998, they were doing a wrestling show in the city where Ali and his family were staying, and they were there. And The Rock came out of his way to ask, can I use this nickname as the People's Champion, because Muhammad Ali is the People's Champion. And that's a nice touch. I never knew that. As a wrestling fanatic I am, I wouldn't have known that at all.
Yeah, and it's just a good bit of history there. There was a weird bit, though, when they asked for The Rock to come out, everyone turned to face the entranceway, and then he comes.
And then everyone was booing regardless as well. I was like, enjoy the ride The Rock's taking you on, people.
Yeah, The Rock was great at that. He knew there was going to be a few boos. He said a line, made everyone laugh, and then he got the in and out really quickly with that, which I appreciate as well, because it's not that bit weren't about him, but I know they were honouring him with that belt for the People's Champ to tell that story.
Yeah, it's not The Rock's place to
really well.
take over and then cut a promo on it.
Yeah, exactly. He did that in his later one, which he was more afforded to because it was for his family. And one thing I want to highlight as well with all of these is they're all really unique kind of ways of accepting, highlighting people. You've had The New Day, you've had The Rock, you've had Undertaker. It's all worked really well. It's not just been copy and paste the same induction template, which you've got before. It's just been a bit more, as people say at the minute, WWE, you can do a bit more what you want, and it's worked out.
They've been given that sort of creative freedom now.
Yeah, because the next one we'll talk about is Bull and Anico, and this was just elegant, I thought, the whole thing. They showed you the video, immediately you knew who they're on about. You're like, oh, okay, I don't know who this person is, but I'm not invested in this. This body of work they've just shown me. That highlight video was great.
And she looked scary. Her hair is wild. And that face paint stuff, it just works.
Yeah, and she came out with the face paint on, which was great. And Alundra Blaze, who they showed the history of them two being a bit of a pioneer in the women's wrestling early on. They were way before their time by the looks of it, what they were doing. So Alundra Blaze came out to induct her, and the word I've got to say about both of them and how they handled their segment was...
Yeah, it was nice. It was like they... Yeah. I feel a bit bad about them both because the crowd weren't as hyped.
Yeah, it was understandable. Whoever went after Paul Heyman was going to have a bit of an issue.
Yeah, top that.
Maybe, yeah, basically, yeah. It was harder to do. And you couldn't really put US Express because of the Bray Wyatt stuff. You weren't going to do it to Muhammad Ali. And, yeah. So it was a bit of a short change that way. But I thought they handled it very well. The crowd had it's not the crowd, because the crowd can do what they want. Booing, cheering, chanting, whatever. But I feel like someone in the background just had to have their finger on the button to like mute certain fan mics.
Yeah.
To get over the feeling a bit more at certain points. It happened in this one. There was a few chants.
And then it went to nothing.
It happened. Yeah. And it happened with Roman as well. We'll get back to that in a minute. But when Roman was talking, there should have been a moment where they like pressed that button. Mute the crowd a little bit. They'd bring them back in as soon as the next bit happens. But yeah. So they mentioned WCW, WWE. She was a champion in the USA, Japan, Mexico. It was all really nicely tied up. And it made me want to go, I want to know more about this. I want to see more footage. I want to see these matches.
Yeah, because she looked like a monster in the ring. And that was hard to come by, especially for like women's wrestling back in the day.
And then CM Punk, I think this is the bit where he had the line about exposure for forgotten gems, or however he said it. And that is, I had that feeling anyway. Then he said it, I was like, he's hitting the nail on the head. This is great.
It's
this is how
that
it works.
Exposure to wanting to know more about who's being inducted.
Yeah, people say it's a gimmick, the Hall of Fame, and it is a little bit, but it's a vehicle, as I said earlier, for people to get recognised, for you to see people of the past that you can go, oh, that's how we got to this point. That's how it works, and that's why I find it quite important. I always quite like it.
Yeah.
So the big one, the ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman moment. Well, I was surprised he didn't lead with that.
I thought it was smart how they did it. So
it was very well done, because how he came out as Paul Heyman. But they had Roman Reigns. He came out in a really good suit. Everyone had their fingers up.
He really didn't want to induct him.
No, and in other circumstances, that would have been Brock Lesnar inducted him.
Yeah.
But I really liked the bit where he was coming out and you had Nia Jax, you had Jimmy Uso, you had Naomi, all up with their fingers in the air, acknowledging the tribal chief. And then it panned away, and there was a few others, I'm pretty sure, other superstars had their fingers up.
But obviously on the front row as well, they had Haku, they had Rikishi, they had Anoa'i family there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
And like some of the things that Roman was saying whilst inducting Paul Heyman in, like Roman was shit-faced drunk on a Wednesday, and Paul Heyman just gave him like great advice on how to captivate the fans and how to become who he is today. And that's what Paul Heyman is. He builds stars. And I've always liked Paul Heyman. I remember watching ECW as a kid. I shouldn't have watched ECW as a kid, but I found a way. And
I was going to say, what was that on? Because I'd never seen it.
I think I remember having bootlegs of it.
Of course you did.
But, like, it was different. It's what got me into the hardcore wrestling. It was the alternative, is what it was meant to be. You had your WWF, you had your WCW. You needed that showcase of something different.
Yeah, I saw him when he first come into WWE. And he was running down, then he was running Raw for a bit. He didn't do much of the managing at first, and then he started to get into it, and they go through that with the vignette, and he goes through it as well, how he had CM Punk, he had Lesnar, he's got Reigns, he had a few others in between. And yeah, he was always, like, when I was younger, I hated him, and that was the point. You had to hate him. He was a bad guy. He was a bad manager. And it's a bit like when I think of Triple H. When I was really younger and he was the heel champion, I hated his guts. So that means he did his job.
Yeah.
To the 10th degree, yeah. And Paul Heyman was that guy. I was about to say, how can anyone get ladies and gentlemen over as a catchphrase? But Ludwig Kaiser's doing quite a good job of it as well. But just go in, and he said it in interviews before, going, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. He does that because he's addressing them, he's introducing himself, and then there's next line, whatever it is, him telling you what he's going to now spend the next 5 minutes talking about.
Yeah, it's very
and it's just genius.
Isn't it? Like, here's my name.
Yeah,
This is what you want to know, and then I'm going to give you a spoiler. Not a prediction, a spoiler.
Yeah, and he did it throughout this. It was really cool because before he gets the gimmick out, he does just beat Paul
Yeah.
Heyman, the father
Oh, I
of
thought it
them.
was so
And he talks
funny.
about
Like when he comes out, he's like, "I didn't know what to do for a speech, so I called Rob Van Dam," and he was like, "Because Avidi's a stoner, yeah."
the wee
And then
joke
he was
about
like,
that, yeah.
"It's his son,"
And then he
and he just outs his son for being a stoner, which was hilarious.
yeah. It's so bless him. It's so spent the whole time like set back with his head up, like
Yeah,
going.
I'm stoned.
He's just thinking
Yeah,
you.
and then he goes into his ECW. The place is in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is the home of ECW. He's got his box, and then he brings out his trench coat, puts his Booker headphones on, and that hat, and cuts the greatest speech of ECW, putting over the people.
Oh, it's like 1993 all
Yeah.
over again, or 1994 all
And,
over
like,
again. It was great.
yeah.
The best bit's the phone. He gets the phone out and going, "Holy shit, this is the actual phone. They've rebuilt it." That he smashed over Sting's head, and I remember that. I've seen clips of that before I'd seen ECW, I think, and most gone back and realised that it wasn't part of WWE. And then again, WWE do lots of stuff on the network that's great, like showing ECW, WCW, the Monday Night Wars, and all these documentaries are really good for people who maybe don't know that side of it, because that's how I learned a lot of it. And then I've gone and seen highlight clips and stuff like that. And but before he gets the gear on, he goes through, doesn't he, saying, "I get to work with all these people." He name drops people, which is really cool as well. Because that again was a bit more of him behind the scenes, not so much.
Yeah, because
not the character.
He put over Triple H really well as the person that's driving the force in the world of chaos. He's the person of sports, and he's fuck that professional wrestling. And if anyone's the first person to be this guy, I am a Paul Levesque guy. And
that was huge. That bit, that was like, okay. But it was really funny throughout as well. And he was calling out JBL. They showed the clip of
the one night stand, wasn't it?
It's the best line. Yeah, the one night stand line where he's the only reason you've been champ for years because Triple H doesn't work Tuesdays. It was great. And he just drops the reigning, defending, and disputed line. He goes through some of the highlights. This isn't doing it justice. You just have to go and watch that segment.
Yeah,
that is
I think my favourite
acceptance
speech. My favourite part about the whole when he put his ECW jacket on, he's the one that gave Stone Cold his first beer. He's the one that's made The Undertaker. Yeah. He's the one that's the Dudleys were like, "Get the fucking tables," and then it goes on, and then it's the lawsuit of ECW that. Oh, let me pull it up actually, because I sent you the message, didn't I? Because I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, and he says, I really liked where he says, because the crowd are really hot for him and chanting. They didn't behave really for Roman at the beginning. It was a bit, that's the bit I'm on about. But they're really great with Paul Heyman on stage. And at one point they're shouting, "You deserve it," chanting that at him, and he just goes, "Damn right,
so smug." Yeah, I've got the quote on now. Is that if you think ECW died in a bankruptcy case, you can suck my fucking dick. And everyone just laughing so hard. Bubba Ray Dudley gave like standing ovation to it. I thought, yes, Paul, like exactly.
Yeah, it was great, and it was all off his head. I think he said it in an interview before we got to this night, but it was all off his head, no script, because he didn't know what he was going to do. And I actually generally believe that. I think he might have had a vague idea of, yes, I'm going to dress in ECW. How can I do that? Yeah. Give me the jacket, kind of thing. But a lot of it was, you could tell as well, because he turned around at one point and he was saying the Paul Levesque guy bit, and he then was thanking Stephanie. Stephanie's there in her.
He even thanks
hat.
Dusty.
Which was really good.
The hard cam's there. Cody's behind him. He walks around to Cody and going, "I wish your grandfather." Yeah,
he bends the mic the
other way. Was here so I can thank him.
Yeah, because he was tugging at my heart when it was like, "Oh, I wish my mum and my dad were here," and he kept saying sorry, just let me have this moment. No, this is your moment. Have it. And then he said, "Yeah," and then he's like, "I wish Dusty was here," which was just shows you again how much Dusty's loved. But yeah, he gets the outfit on, and then he just drops the promo of the ages for ECW, and it was. He does the quote from, was it Bubba Ray saying that they weren't here for a long time, it was here to go out in a blaze of glory. And he goes into, that's not prediction, that's a spoiler, which is one of the best.
He's the one in 21-1. He's the Beast, Brock.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised Brock Lesnar got such a big shout out.
He has to, man. It's not a race from history, is he? He's not.
No, and nothing is set in stone yet, and nothing's been finalised in court. No one knows what's true. what's not true. CM Punk said it quite well this week. He doesn't want to know the details. He just wants to know if there are victims, how do they not heal from it and stuff like that. So at this point, yeah, it's not right to just completely discount. A big part is, as well as Brock Lesnar the person, there's Brock Lesnar the character. And the character is a big part of Paul Heyman's bit. Especially that like return run, if we call it return run from when he came back into
and just CM Punk when he left prior to that, he was the Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah. And then who else was there?
Curtis Axel, Cesaro.
Oh yeah, Cesaro. Yeah, Cesaro was one. Then they became a tag team because Paul Heyman was chucking them out because you're no longer Paul Heyman guys. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I really enjoyed, and I think it started on the high, the Hall of Fame. Don't know why it was 3 hours long. We talked about this a couple of days ago because we're going to have to get this clip recorded. We're recording this episode out of sync, so the next segment you're going to see is the Slammies, and that was done so we can get the votes in a couple of days ago, whenever it was. We did it the day you had to get the votes in because we were panicked. I'm wearing the same T-shirt. I've washed it, put it back on.
I didn't
You
try.
didn't even try.
No, I didn't try. My hair's down.
I'm going to match this up. And then that's why now I'm just letting the curtain down.
We're breaking the fourth wall.
So, yeah. We're the comic book characters. I'm looking straight into the camera instead of off to the side.
Hard cam.
Yeah. Because, no, it was really good.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was, like I said at the start, smart to give Paul Heyman the first spot of the Hall of Fame so he can go as long as he wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, I didn't know the other people as much. I knew US Express purely because it's IRS. Right, I didn't know Barry Windham. Yeah. And yeah, you're right. I want to now see more of Bull Nakano or was it Taylor Patterson? Thunderbolt Patterson. I don't know why I got Taylor. I think I'm thinking of Taylor Rotunda.
You are. He's going to return as Taylor. He's not being called Bo Dallas anymore. We don't have to believe.
I want to believe. But yeah, no, it makes me now want to watch highlights and clips of them. Yeah,
it's a good service to those people, those characters, those of a time long ago. Because it's over 30 years ago for some of these people now. I think they said about Thunderbolt Patterson, he hadn't been in a ring or on TV in like 31 years, which is incredible, really. Yeah, so we're now going to take a quick camera cut. We're probably going to put a segment here of us talking about socials, and then we'll come back with the Slammy Awards. We are the We'll Make a Fan Out of You podcast. Don't forget you can find us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on YouTube at our channel, We'll Make a Fan Out of You. Nitesh, you're the socials guy. Tell them where else they can find us.
You put me on the spot now, and I've just forgot what I wanted to say. But no, we are at Make a Fan of You. That's on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Once again, if you do want to watch this in video format, or on YouTube, We'll Make a Fan Out of You. Links will be in descriptions. Give us a follow. We love your feedback. We want to make this work. We're going to be consistent. Wrestling is our life. Well, is my life to an extent. I love professional wrestling. And why not just make a podcast about it? So, yeah.
I can't say that because I have a fiance and she'd kill me if I said that.
I'm single, so yeah.
Right, and now we're going to talk about the WWE 2024 Slammy Awards. We haven't put our votes in yet. We're going to get that in straight after we've done this. That's why there might have been a bit of a jump cut to this. We're doing this ahead of the Hall of Fame section. First category I've got written down, I don't know if they're in any particular order, is the Return of the Year. The nominees for that were CM Punk, obviously Survivor Series, The Rock. I don't know if this one means when he come back on, was it Day 1 Raw?
Or SmackDown.
Or when he came back to actually join the Bloodline and the feud and all that. Nia Jax, I don't know when she came back. Randy Orton, another one at Survivor Series. And then Naomi come back at the Royal Rumble. We're both going to just quickly talk through the options and then we'll both pick one. And if we don't agree, we're going to argue for 5 minutes and then
we're definitely going to argue.
I don't know about this one. This category is a bit civil between us.
Yeah.
So CM Punk was the unexpected return at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
I'm going to tie this in with Randy Orton because he did Randy Orton dirty.
He did Randy Orton dirty because Randy Orton come back looking like swole and jacked and just like looked great coming into the War Games match, and he put in a good performance.
The man was built like a tank. Like you can tell what he did the last 6 months when he was getting in ring shape. He was just hitting the weights. Punk come back in a t-shirt.
Yeah, he quit All Elite Wrestling, and
Quotation marks.
probably for the best, he got fired by the committee.
Yeah.
You'll come to know on this podcast that AEW is my baby, and I will defend it to.
He's a simp.
Yeah, I'm a simp for AEW, and I admit that. Tony Khan,
You do.
I love you, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
So cool.
But
Absolutely so
I
cool.
digress. The whole
Yeah.
CM Punk return thing, it was done really smart, to be honest, because we watched it together. We were at your house watching it live.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, that pay-per-view's finished. Okay. Oh.
We didn't even think, though, he was going to return, because everything was like, nah, no way. There's no chance CM Punk's coming back to WWE. I believed anyway. I was like, nah, I think he's done. There was a rumour, I think, a month before it that, it could happen. No one took it seriously, and it quickly got squished.
Yeah.
Then, the only other time I remember the logo coming up and something happening was Extreme Rules with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. Coming back to that first
door.
episode.
We talked about this in the first episode,
Yeah.
We talk about the door opening, Bray Wyatt's there. The logo's up. The Extreme Rules, the WWE, the show's over logo's there. That's the thing. They do it here, and then it even does. So they didn't do this, I don't think, these Extreme Rules, but Survivor Series, they zoomed out and they did the CM Punk. Sorry, before the CM Punk music hit, they did the zoom out and go, the show's over. Next minute, the music hits, it zooms back in, and you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
The man in the crowd's there. This is my moment. I'm getting my 5 minutes of fame. It's great. So that kind of overshadows Randy for me straight away.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, so now that's my benchmark. You've got to beat CM Punk's return. Nia Jax, no.
No.
I say I
Can't
can't
even
even tell her
remember
when she
when-
returned.
yeah.
Nah, got nothing really against Nia Jax. She's not a top level name though to throw out in the women's division, unfortunately. Naomi at the Rumble was a great return. Everyone knew it was happening.
Expected though, yeah.
Yeah, there was no wow factor in that for me.
No.
And this is a bit hypocritical because CM Punk's been out injured since Rumble, but Naomi hasn't done a lot since a return to make me go, that's a return of the year. Punk at least had that, the Royal Rumble.
He had the buzz as well.
Yeah, the buzz around him. The promos are always good. And he might have had the promo of the year the other week with Seth Rollins and Drew. This week, sorry. Then you got The Rock's return, which...
We don't know which one. I think it's
we don't know which one.
Where Cody gives his Royal Rumble shot to...
Yeah. But that's spoiled by the day one. I don't think The Rock beats it either. So for me, return of the year, CM Punk.
I'll agree with you on that one. Yeah, we'll go with CM Punk. That's 1-0 to you.
No, we've agreed on that one. We haven't had to argue. So yeah, return of the year, CM Punk. Category 2, again, these aren't in any particular order. I've just written down on a bit of paper. That is a one note. Faction of the year. So again, this is a bit more clear cut than some of the other categories that are further down the list. So you've got the entrance in this is the Judgment Day, Alpha Academy, Imperial, the Bloodline, and Damage Control. We'll go from the bottom to the top on this one. So Damage Control, they've been there. They've been present.
They've
had some good moments.
But they were Faction of the Year 2022 when they were hot.
Yeah. Their biggest bit this year, I'm going to say the biggest bit this year was the Sky cash-in, which was a good moment, but does that carry them through the whole year against these other people? Their current storyline is great, but it's not getting the spotlight it needs because of a certain rock-sized object.
Yeah.
Yeah, Damage Control have been great this year, but nowhere near Faction of the Year for me. Bloodline?
I like the whole Bloodline thing. If we're classing this year as because it wouldn't be. It'll be Mania to Mania, really, wouldn't it?
No, because the Sami Zayn match is up for Match of the Year against Roman from Elimination Chamber.
So what's a year?
So when does... I don't know what year it... I thought it was Mania to Mania as well. Because Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio is up for Rivalry of the Year, which is the next category. But yeah, Match of the Year, it's got the Elimination Chamber in it, and then everything after that. I think they've got the one WrestleMania match. I think we're going from January 23 until this Mania.
Okay, that's a weird year. Love the Bloodline when
I don't
Sami
know.
Zayn was in it, because Sami Zayn was just hilarious. It went dead. I enjoyed parts of the whole Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso. Will
That
they
was good.
turn? Won't they turn?
And SummerSlam.
The Money in the Bank in London
Yeah.
as well. Just what's going to happen. Roman taking the first pinfall loss in
Yeah.
so many, however long.
The issue is the biggest draw of the Bloodline's not been there for most of the year. He's part-time.
Yeah.
And if he was there full-time and they squish this down the Bloodline story to, say, September,
Story of the century.
you've got more argument. Yeah.
Like,
Now that they've had to drag it out and separate it, what we've got is brilliant.
I'm invested.
it's-
I'm very invested. But is it my faction of the year? They're not really.
There's not
They're
consistency.
not a really cohesive faction.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the problem with the next one, Imperium. Like, they're great. I love them. There's not been a story to carry them.
No.
There's not been... Or even a story. There's not been a fluency
It's just
to them
Gunther.
this year.
Yeah, if they,
Yeah.
Vinci and...
Belts or
if
something.
Ludwig and Vinci
Yeah.
won the tag belts.
Which
be
is
invested.
part of the issue we have with the tag belts both being on one faction. Like, Imperium should be tag champion, or another option we've discussed, which I'll bring up now, is a trios.
Yeah.
WWE had a trios. Imperium's perfect fit.
Yeah.
More so than probably the Judgment Day.
I agree. Because
Like,
they would work
Gunther with
really
two
well
belts.
as a trio.
Yeah. Gunther with two belts as well would be huge. Alpha Academy, I love them.
Mm.
I wish I could vote for them in
Mm.
this.
I love Chad Gable.
Not so much Chad Gable's a bit separate from Oliver Otis. You know Oliver
I hate
Otis.
him.
People will learn I love Otis. He's great. And the Maxine Dupree stuff, especially recently, has been really good. I would love... If I was voting with my heart, and just my heart, it'd be Alpha Academy for me.
But you're voting with me because this is a democracy.
And I'm voting with my head and my heart at the same time. So it's got to be
It's
Judgment Day.
100% Judgment Day. They're running.
It was closer to others until R-Truth got involved. And then that just took it to another level.
Yeah.
R-Truth's
Dynamicness,
been
what if it? No, not diversity. What's the word? It is a dynamic.
Yeah, the dynamic they had. But the dynamic was starting to get stale. You'll go in, what's going on with the Judgment Day? It was affecting Rhea Ripley all year because she's not had that massive feud all year. She didn't defend about at half the PLEs.
Pay-per-views, but yeah.
Premium Live events. We're in 2024 now. 2023. This is PLE territory. Yeah, so Judgment Day was holding Rhea back a bit, but elevating everyone else. And we love Jordan Devlin.
I love Jordan Devlin. I think he's fantastic. His head's massive.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, which I didn't know until they pointed out on TV.
And Finn Balor, hero.
Yeah. Finn Balor's great. Priest has won me over this year.
He has.
I know he's not used the briefcase yet, but that's really helped, I think. I know people will take the mix saying he's not cashed in yet, but he doesn't have to. He's got till the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, and obviously our next episode that we will bring out will be our predictions, and bring a nice little segue into that about the whole briefcase thing. But Judgment Day just ruled everything.
Yeah, and we've just talked through all of them, but the biggest one in there at the minute, arguably, Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, the heel of this. Yeah, he's MJF. He is WWE's MJF.
He's getting better and better in the ring.
He is.
Him and JD McDonough, I'm going to use his actual name at the minute now, against Ricochet the other week. Ricochet's popped up all of a sudden. I'm loving it. But they've had some bangers on TV. And it makes me sad that Ricochet's not in WrestleMania, which again will probably come up on the WrestleMania predictions and feelings video. So we both agree. Judgment Day there. Judgment Day. Okay. So that's that one. Next one is Rivalry of the Year. Now this one was hard.
This one
until the last option.
What were the options? You've got it on the note.
So it's Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, which, Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio, which obviously was the build-up to last Mania.
Yeah, so I don't really class that.
Yeah. No, and the build-up weren't. It was You knew you liked it, you
Yeah.
enjoyed it, but it weren't special. Sorry. Bianca.
See, I hate the woman, so yeah, her.
EST versus Damage
Yeah.
Control. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. And R-Truth versus Judgment Day.
Well,
now, for this one, we're taking Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes as last year's Mania. I'm not accepting it's this year's Mania.
I'm also taking Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio out of that equation as well.
Yeah, okay. And so Dominic and Rey's not even in consideration
No.
from both of us. I agree with that. Bianca Belair versus Damage Control.
Got stale.
Yeah, and I couldn't really tell you much what happened. This guy said it in the
We
first
saw
episode.
it in 2022 when we went to Clash at the Castle, and now we're in 20. That says a lot.
The cash-in was brilliant. Yeah. We've talked about how higher up the thing. So we've got Seth Rollins v Drew McIntyre, which was so-so. Yeah, as I said, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, doing it for last Mania, because this build-up's not them two, it's the Bloodline versus freaking Nightmare. Yeah, it was good. It weren't earth-shattering. There was too much going on with Sami Zayn in the build-up.
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber was halfway between the two, like the Rumble win and the event. So R-Truth versus Judgment Day. This has been the highlight of half the year. It feels. I think it's only been going on since October.
It's been really recent on, but you can.
Yeah,
you've been so invested. Like majority of my TikTok is R-Truth just being hilarious.
Yeah, I think we can both agree. Rivalry of the year, R-Truth versus Judgment Day.
We haven't argued yet properly.
No, we haven't. I think we will now though, because female superstar of the year. So the options here are Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Io Sky, and Becky Lynch. Automatically, you're going to take out Bianca Belair. And I agree. She hasn't had a great year.
She's too down my throat. She's the John Cena of...
Yep.
Charlotte Flair, yes, definitely down my throat, but she can back it up. Bianca Belair, her promos...
Bianca Belair has her moments, and she's an athlete. My issue is, as you said, she's too down your throat, and she's not aimed at us.
No.
She's not. She's, as you said, John Cena. She's aimed at young kids. She's that kind of feel-good, happy superhero. We both love Bayley. She's had a good year, but she's not superstar of the year.
She isn't. She deserves to be.
And she wins at Mania.
She's a fantastic heel, and she's been heel, and now she's come back to being a face again. And
I like how they haven't out and out done that though. They've like slowly transitioning that. Like, to be fair, they've used Bianca Belair quite well in those segments backstage with Naomi going, I'm not going to help her. She beat me up 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Now, no. So it's a bit more heel grey area than will be babyface.
Io Sky.
Yeah, Sky's had a good year.
Had a great year. Once again, I think she's a great wrestler. Her cash-in was good. That Money in the Bank where she won was so nice to see that she got it. Been a bit crazy when I saw Io Sky win. But as much as she hasn't wrestled, she's the draw. She's Rhea Ripley. Yeah.
So the last two there are the WrestleMania headline. Well, say headline. One of the big matches, Becky Lynch v Rhea Ripley. And we got it here for the Superstar of the Year. I think we both would narrow it down to these two straight away. Becky Lynch has been interesting because she's done everything but have the proper championship this year. She did the NXT run, which I loved.
Yeah, it worked.
I just got back into watching NXT as well at the time, and I was like, wait a minute, Becky Lynch has followed me. Rhea Ripley, we touched on it earlier. She's wrestling not as much as she should do. She's been held back by Judgment Day, in my opinion. If she was on her own and they gave her a Bianca Belair feud, a proper somebody else before the Nia Jax feud, you would have been better. I don't think she... When did she wrestle? She wrestled Backlash. Don't think she did Money in the Bank. I can't remember any big, up until Chamber, big
Survivor Series, War Game. She faced Zoe Stark.
Yes, she did.
Once again, don't really remember it. But she's held the
But
championship.
you are right. And that WrestleMania match and the build-up to that, the Royal Rumble win, if we're going that far back in the thing, makes Rhea Ripley the
Superstar of the Year.
Arguably, her January till April carries her the whole year. Because even the Elimination Chamber, that was a good build-up start to Mania. She's been really good on the behind the scene segments they do with the Judgment Day.
She's recruiting
just
people.
Wrestling, sports entertainment-wise, me and you have this argument quite a bit. Sports entertainment-wise,
She's great.
really good this year. As a out-and-out AEW show, she's not the wrestler of the year. But, okay, we both agree with Ripley. I thought we were going to argue that. I thought you might have gone.
I would have went Bayley, but you're right.
Yeah. If she wins at Mania, arguably, you could say Bayley for me. Right. So then, where are we? NXT Superstar of the Year. So we've got Dragunov, Camilo Hayes, Laura Valkyrie, Tiffany Stratton, or Bron Breakker. And I think this will be us having different options.
No, I feel like we're both.
Oh, yes.
I love Ilya Dragunov.
He'll be the next Gunther.
Wow.
He makes a step up and he won't lose for a while.
He won't, but I don't know if you've seen any of his stuff in NXT UK. Him versus Gunther. Yeah. People are going to be scared to with him.
I'm surprised he's still at NXT.
Yeah.
Bron Breakker's made the move up. Tiffany Stratton's made the move up. I thought he would have been around the same time.
Carmelo Hayes as well. Like, he's had a few appearances. He's good.
Yeah. He needs that something more.
He's heel now and he's turned against Trick Williams.
Yeah, that might be the thing. That if this plays out well,
the
whole heel turn might be the thing that makes me fully on board. It's funny, I'm on board with Dragunov. I'm on board with Valkyrie. On board with Stratton. On board with Breakker. Carmelo Hayes is the one on this list that I'm a bit more...
No,
I can see what's going to happen.
I've not seen much of Lyra Valkyrie, is it?
Yeah.
But...
I like her. She's good. She's not Superstar of the Year.
No.
Stand and Deliver, that'd be a good match.
I'd potentially go with Bron Breakker because...
That spear,
he had a great showing at the Rumble. He's NXT Tag Champs with Baron Corbin, and
which has been really well worked.
And now he's slowly transitioning to SmackDown.
By slowly transitioning, you mean he gets fed a jobber once a week. He spears them, pins them. Job done. They're building him how they should do. I don't know who's going to feud with after Mania. Part of me wants to say maybe Gunther.
Yeah.
That kind of level. Depends what happens. We'll talk more about Gunther tomorrow, but there's got to be someone there for Bron, and at the minute it doesn't stick out for me.
And it's Tiffy time, baby. Let's not beat around the bush. She is so good.
Yeah. She came back from the injury she had. Looked like she put in a load of work. Just has carried this new, not fake Barbie, because that was like the old gimmick, but just the presentation in the ring. She looks amazing. She's an athlete. And then she just comes out, taps on the watch. Everyone joins in.
Yeah.
Next minute, she's moonsaulting, the prettiest moonsault in the world. And it's, the chamber was the moment that was like, oh, wow, people are on board.
Yeah. And I agree.
Like,
you started watching more NXT and you saw more than me of what Tiffany Stratton is and can do.
I was more excited at Chamber than you when she came out.
But then I became a fan, like, wow.
Yeah. And then she squished Naomi, which was a bit unfortunate for Naomi, but that was quite The Rock's fault.
Yeah.
Everything's The Rock's fault. He's the final boss. Okay. We haven't... I thought there was going to be more arguing here. We should have set some drama in motion. Right. So I'll keep that one for in a bit because that's a juicy one. Oh my God, moment of the year, which I don't agree this should be a title, but a category. So you got Rey Mysterio punches Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, whatever.
That was in March, before Mania last year.
CM Punk returns to WWE. That's an oh my God moment to me.
But that's Return of the Year.
Yeah, but can it be both? Who sets these rules?
I do.
All right. Oh my God moment of the year. Io Sky cashes in Money in the Bank contract.
It's
a bit predictable now.
It's predictable, but they worked it really well.
Yeah. It's almost though a moment where if it doesn't happen, it's a bit of a disappointment now. Priest has had a few chances.
Where he should have done it and won.
Yeah. The Rock slaps Cody Rhodes. That's a press. We ain't counting that. That's a press conference. That's not on our show. I weren't watching that press conference until the slap happened. So I suppose maybe, but no, I haven't. Damage Control turns on Bailey. Everyone saw that a mile away. That's not an oh my god moment. Even if you thought wrestling was real, spoilers, you ain't. I'm sorry, you're not. You knew that was happening. Cody Rhodes slaps The Rock on SmackDown.
He had to return the favor. He had to give The Rock a receipt.
Yeah.
So
if it was a random proper slap, it was in the middle of a face-to-face, of course it was going to happen. So I'm going to have to say CM Punk returns to WWE.
I'm going to go with Io Sky cashing in because Triple Threat match was so good, I didn't think they would do it.
Yeah, the Triple Threat was really good because you had the whole. There was a great 450 from Bianca. I know you don't like her.
So Asuka had
Charlotte Flair. Yeah, in the figure 4 bridged, whatever she calls it.
Figure of 8. Yeah.
Figure of 8, and then EST comes from the top with a 450. It was cool. That was a cool moment. And I know what you mean. Okay, it's not, but CM Punk returning, man.
But then I want to change my return of the year then, because that's just... It can't be Bo. This is the drama.
Right, if you're setting
this
that
is the drama.
We'll go... Yeah. It's not, because you're winning me over by just saying we can't have it in 2 categories. This is democracy, damn it. Okay. We'll go VO Sky.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it now. CM Punk wins his category. He wins both, but okay. Social Star of the Year. Grayson Waller, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Chelsea Green, or Liv Morgan.
Why is Liv Morgan in there?
I don't know. Is she on Twitter or something?
She got arrested, right?
That one this year, was it? Was it?
Well, last year. Okay. Towards the back.
Drew McIntyre's had a good couple of weeks.
Drew McIntyre's hilarious on X.
I know Chelsea Green's on social media, but I don't follow any of it.
I prefer what she does with Matt Cardona and stuff like that. But
her interview with Chris Van Vliet on his podcast was really good. That's worth a listen to. I've shouted him out in 2 episodes in a row now. If he doesn't start shouting us out soon, I'm going to kick off. Grayson Waller, I'm not.
I like him. Fan. I think he's a slimy heel, and that Australian sort of accent and stuff. Like
he is Australian, isn't he?
I know, but it works.
Okay. The obvious one here is Logan Paul. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
They're still selling his bottles of Prime for £6 in the shop by me.
Logan, if you want to give us some Prime.
I'll drink Prime, I'll chug it.
Yeah.
How can you argue for anyone but Logan Paul here?
I'm guessing they created this Slammy purely for him, right?
For him. Oh, definitely.
So, I'd vote for Logan too.
This is a weird category because of one person that I've already crossed out on the list, but I'll mention them. Breakout Superstar of the Year. So you got Jey Uso, Tiffany Stratton, Pretty Deadly, Dragon Lee, or LA Knight. No way can anyone class LA Knight as Breakout Superstar of the Year. The man's 41. He's been around longer than... He probably was born... He's probably started wrestling before half these on the list were born.
Yeah. Oh, but
Yeah.
I've
got to do the finger point. Jey Uso's been wrestling forever.
As a singles competitor, I understand it.
Yeah, but for breakout for me is something like a Tiffany Stratton on here.
Or
I don't know if we can vote for Tiffany Stratton in this.
I like Pretty Deadly.
It is. Dragon Lee I've not seen enough of yet.
Dragon Lee, great in NXT. Part of the whole Latino.
New World Order or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the LWO. Which, yes, but you're putting everyone in the LWO. It's basically being what NWO was back in the day, and everyone hated the NWO because everyone...
Bless him. Carlito's in it. He's not even getting to wrestle at Mania.
He doesn't even get a T-shirt.
No, he doesn't, because if he puts a T-shirt on, he has to get a portion of the money from it. No. I bet Carlito's got quite a nice back end on his merch. Just speculating.
Yeah.
ruling out LA Knight. We ain't having
No,
LA
we're not
Knight
having
on there.
Alex. I agree with that.
And he started to break out, arguably, before last Christmas.
Yeah, the whole Bray Wyatt thing pushed him
Yeah.
into the stardom. I'm gonna once again go with Tiffany.
See, I started to think Jay after you said the whole as a singles.
He's too whiny for me.
Are you Yeet?
I'm no Yeet.
Or are you no Yeet?
I'm no Yeet.
I'm Yeet.
But we'll talk about that in our WrestleMania predictions video podcast as well.
I'll go with Tiffany, but then now you're breaking your rule and we're voting for two things.
No, because NXT is different to Breakout.
Okay. I'm surprised Bron Breaker's not been put on that list.
He's not done much
But
on
I suppose
SmackDown, though.
Yeah, I suppose Tiffany had
Yeah.
Chamber, that's why she's gone there. Okay. Right. So what have we got left? Match of the year, best entrance, male superstar. Which one do you want to do next?
Let's do best entrance.
Best entrance. So the participants are Cody Rhodes.
Whoa.
Roman Reigns.
Boo.
Fingers in the air, people. Fingers in the air. Bianca Belair, which I'm crossing that straight off. Seth Rollins. Yeah.
Yep.
Sing his song.
Whoa.
Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley has got a good entrance, but is it best
No.
entrance? Nah. He was good at Mania.
Yeah.
Arguably, this Mania will have a better entrance. I'm convinced it will. Becky Lynch. I love Becky's entrance. It's not best entrance.
That's just like a participation award for her.
Yeah. Why is there so many in this category as well? So you've got the next is The Rock, which we'll come back to that. Then final, because I'm scratching this one out as well. Dominic Mysterio. Why is he in
Is
here?
it because of his Mania entrance? Where he's arrested and stuff? But once again, participation.
Right. We're gonna trim this. The Rock, we're gonna talk in a minute. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, or Seth Rollins. The Rock, let's start there. It evolves every week. It's never the same.
And I'm glad that he's listened to socials and stuff going into his Hollywood Rock theme, because that's what I remember back in the day at No Way Out when he come out to the Hollywood. I loved it. I thought it was great.
The first, not this Raw, was it the Raw before? Or was it SmackDown, where the first time they did the lightning with a spotlight?
I thought that was cool.
He joked. His fingers chills in the arm, and he starts pointing up and down and tapping his arm. I got that watching that. That was a Saturday morning. I'm sat there in my PJs, eating a bowl of cereal with a cup of tea on the table. My missus is sat next to me going, she hates The Rock talking in third person. It's genius, by the way. He's my biggest hero purely from that. And that was sending chills down my arms watching that entrance. Like, it was it shouldn't have done. The environment I was in, it still did it. Saying that, I am a Seth Rollins fanboy, and I love it.
I'm going to also agree with you on that. Yes, the Rock's thing's cool, but it's only been cool for
a week.
3 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, because it keeps on evolving.
And this is a bit unfair for me to say it, but I like the design for the WrestleMania 40 stage. We've just seen it today when we record this. However, the first thing I thought after going, oh, no, that's quite cool. I like it.
The lightning going?
Yeah, and it doesn't work for The Rock's entrance. So fair play to The Rock, because the last one on Monday on the Raw was phenomenal. On that, I didn't get for a very long time this whole Raw wall they have until they started to play about a bit more with the entrances, and The Rock's was like solidified, going, I like this. I like this stage. I like the get up now. It sets a bar for everyone to get up to with their entrances. But yeah, I don't know how I'll translation, but that's a side note. Roman Reigns' entrance is good. Lasts forever, and I'm not going to say it's the best one. Cody Rhodes, on Mania alone, could carry, but it gets louder and louder every PLE. So it is between Seth and Cody, isn't it?
I'm still going to go with Seth. I love Cody's theme song because he's carried it through with him from the indies to AEW to here. Yeah. Big fanboy.
Did he have it when we saw him in the indies?
Yeah.
He didn't he?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that on another episode at some point when we go a bit more of our history of live events, because we didn't cover it yet. But we've seen him versus Drew McIntyre in an indie show just before Drew went back to the big time. Okay, so we'll go with Seth on that one.
Definitely. Hands down.
Yeah.
Now,
will he come out through the crowd at Mania?
Imagine if he comes
Him
out
coming
as the
down the
Shield
ramp.
again.
No, I don't think he will, but I think he'll come through the
Do you
crowd.
reckon?
Yeah, I think he will. For night 1, night 2 he won't. Night 2 he'll come down the ramp. We're going to put this into predictions as well. We're going to get these jotted down. We've got male superstar and match of the year. Let's do match of the year. I want to do superstar last, if that's all right.
Yeah. It's a democracy.
This, I think, match of the year as well, we're going to argue over.
Yes, we will.
Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest from the Backlash in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, wasn't it? In a street fight. They had another title on it, didn't they? But it was a street fight. Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn from Elimination Chamber 2023. Gunther versus Chad Gable from a random Raw, which I love the fact that this has gone match of the year. Everything else is a PLE event. Chad Gable, my man, turns up, arguably has the match of the year.
Match of his career.
Match of his career, and nearly the match of Gunther's career. And yeah, it's a random episode of Raw. I love it. Then you got Asuka versus Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair from SummerSlam 2023. The final one is Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley from WrestleMania. Yeah, we just talked a bit about the Gunther match, so we'll finish that one off. I think it would be match of the year if Chad Gable had won.
I slightly agree, but
you know what I mean,
do
don't
know
you?
what
You know where I'm
mean.
coming from.
It would have been.
It's not match of the year. It's one of the matches of the year. I'll give me 12 months, I won't remember it. Won it, I'd never forget that match.
Yeah, because it was like the ultimate underdog. Because we all know who.
And
the
as people,
is.
if everyone complains at the minute about title changes only happening on PLEs and taking too long to get to a title change, that would have been the one to break the mold.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next one, let's pick Asuka v Bianca versus Charlotte Flair. We talked a bit earlier. Yeah, cashes in. I picked out the highlight I can remember.
The 450. Yeah, the ending of the match. It flowed quite smooth, the match. Would it be match of the year? Not my match of the year. The ending was great. The cash.
Charlotte Flair held it together.
Yeah.
From what I remember, Asuka as a heel, I just love Asuka as a heel, but Asuka was Asuka.
Yeah.
But she works so much better when she's got the face paint on.
Yeah.
There's something about that knowing they could be missed at any minute. I don't know what it is. She works better as a heel. And yeah, the cash in was great, but it's not match of the year. Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns.
Loved it for the drama.
I can't remember it.
I loved it for the drama.
Yeah.
I loved it that Sami Zayn got his old entrance back.
Yep.
I thought with this match, match of the year candidate. Was it a good match? No. Because it was the standard, I'm going to beat you up now for a solid 20 minutes. You have your 5 minutes of fame, think that you're going to win the title, and then I'm just going to destroy you. Yeah.
It arguably did more setting up for the Mania match. I know it weren't particular. I might be wrong there. But I felt like everyone knew going to Elimination Chamber he weren't winning.
But how good would it have been if he did? Once again,
that would have made it match of the year for me. Again, so similar to the Chad Gable situation. If he'd won, I'd remember that forever. Give it 12 more months, I won't remember that match. I'll remember his Mania match when him and KO won the titles, the tag titles. That was solid, and this was like the path to starting that.
Yeah.
So, which one do you want to talk about next? Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, or Bad Bunny, Damian Priest? This was what I had in my head that we were going to come down to.
Let's go with Bad Bunny and Damian. I really like this match.
It was a good match.
It was. Pop for Bad Bunny in his hometown was just crazy. And Carlito comes back. Savio Vega. No one remembers him. I do, but no one remembers him. Yeah. And the street fight was good. Bad Bunny, he's invested in wrestling. He can wrestle. Yeah. You can tell he's passionate about it. He's not one of those celebrities that just wants his payday.
No, you're right there. It's not match of the year for me.
Really?
It was good. I loved what they did with Backlash, where they had the smaller entrance, as we might call it. Whereas there wasn't a big grand stage or a big backdrop. There was a door. Very Madison Square Garden kind of vibes, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have the panels, the weird like L-shaped
Yeah,
ramp,
it was Bad Bunny's hometown. Not hometown, but country. I think it was match of the year for me because I like glorified spot fests. I
True.
like street fights.
Yeah.
I like hardcore matches. I like death matches. My cup of tea. Yes, in WWE you don't get that kind of shit, but they presented it really well.
No, they did. I did enjoy the match. The issue is the other match is Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley, and I adored this match.
Mhm.
It was just great. It was the moment. Charlotte Flair did everything she needed to do.
To put Rhea
And Rhea
over,
Ripley,
yeah. Even though, yes,
Rhea
Rhea
Ripley
was
just came out.
over, but
This was between that match and the match she's going to have. I want to say it's going to be on Saturday. I don't know. I don't know if they've actually said the episode order yet for Mania. But like night 1, WrestleMania 40, I imagine Charlotte Flair v Rhea Ripley opens it. I imagine it's going to be very tall order for any of the matches on night 1 or night 2 to be.
you mean Becky?
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, the Becky v Rhea. Yeah. Very similar to how Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley
was on night 1.
From
yeah,
and
was a banger.
Was arguably match of the weekend. Yeah. It did everything it needed to do. It was a great match. If rumours are to be believed from recently, Charlotte Flair told the referee, "No, I'm not ending it now. We're going for another 10 minutes."
I think
Which, if it is
great. Yeah,
that's
it's a Charlotte Flair move. I honestly thought Charlotte Flair
Yeah.
would just be like, "Nah, fuck it. I want this title. I want to keep it."
Oh, she could have very easily. I think it shows. Yeah, I don't know how we choose between Bad Bunny and the Bad Bunny match, the Charlotte Flair match.
Since you let me decide one, it's a democracy. I'll let you decide this one.
It's got to be Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley.
I disagree,
Yeah,
but it's fine.
sorry,
We're a democracy.
Democracy and our 2 votes count as 1 here. So we've done female superstar of the year. We've chosen Rhea Ripley. We've done best entrance. We've chosen Seth Rollins. We've done return of the year. We've chosen CM Punk. Faction of the year. We've chosen the Judgment Day. Rivalry of the year. We've gone R-Truth versus Judgment Day. NXT superstar of the year. We've gone Tiffany Stratton. Match of the year. We're going to go for Charlotte Flair v Rhea Ripley. Oh my God, moment of the year. I wish we didn't have to vote for this. We've gone
Io Sky.
What did we go for? Io Sky cashing in. And then social star of the year again, boys, this category. Logan Paul. Breakout superstar of the year, we're going to go Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiffy time, baby. So this comes down to the male superstar of the year with Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Gunther, and Logan Paul. I'm crossing out Logan Paul straight away.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. He's improving. He's improved loads, to be fair to him. He's not a superstar of the year.
Not yet. Give him a few years.
Because he's a champion. Yeah, very easily. I wouldn't say next year. He'd have to do a hell of a lot for me to be superstar of the year next year. But 2025, 26 definitely could be up there. Cody, Roman, Seth, Gunther. Has Roman wrestled enough to be superstar of the year?
No, but when he wrestles, he's a draw. So that's probably why.
Yeah, but he's getting very close to 5 Moves of Doom territory.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. Cross him off the list.
I would whittle this down to Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Gunther. If Roman had put in a couple more title defenses, even just at PLEs, I would consider him, but he's not.
I slightly want to cross off Seth Rollins.
Ooh.
Because yes, I love his entrances, but some of his matches have started to drag, in my personal opinion. And I love Seth.
I don't remember the last time I've gone his matches have dragged. It have not been as high profile or wow factor as some of his older matches. I love the fact that they gave him the belt. That was a good move. I've liked what he's done with some of the bits with the belt. Yeah, I see what you mean. It just, to me, it's the same. It comes down to Cody versus Gunther. To be fair, our the top 3 male ones is a lot easier to call than top 3 female here. Cody, Seth, Gunther. Although, weirdly, I think, is there an extra bloke in the categories and there wasn't a female, I feel. 5 women, 6 blokes? No, 5 blokes. Oh, okay. How do you do this? Gunther was great.
I want to vote for Gunther.
I want to vote for Gunther. It's a bit predictable, though, isn't it? It's the matches.
Yeah.
You know what's
But
coming.
he put on...
Cody Rhodes, a chop.
Yeah.
Wait, does this includes the triple threat, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's Gunther.
Yeah. It's Gunther.
It's Gunther. That actually, in fact, why is that not match of the year? Why is that not in my category there?
Mm.
I love that triple threat. Sheamus, Drew, Gunther. Is it because he's already got a match with Chad Gable in, which is arguably a very good match? But personally, I think, I know I just said the Charlotte Flair v Rhea Ripley match was my favourite Mania. There was at one point it was the Drew's
the
Sheamus
triple threat match.
Yeah. If Sheamus won that, there's a theme here with me and matches. If Sheamus won that match, that was match of the decade for me. That man needed that title.
Yeah.
He should have got it at Clash of the Castle.
Yeah.
He should have got it at WrestleMania. I was spitting feathers after that loss. Yeah.
I'm going with Gunther.
I think it's Gunther. Cody's been great. He's arguably carried the company.
Yeah.
All three of them have carried the company. Seth Rollins, Gunther, Cody Rhodes this year.
Yeah.
Apparently, as well at house shows, at least you hear about Seth and Cody all the time. I imagine Gunther's there week in, week out. Yeah, we'll go Gunther.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes is definitely a close second. Weirdly, I don't think the Lesnar feud helped him this year. I know why they did it. And more casual people, it probably does elevate Cody Rhodes, but it felt almost it should have went straight back into a program with Roman and carried it on.
Yeah, I agree.
There was a very weird stopgap where it was Lesnar for free pay-per-view?
Yes, in a row, yeah.
Backlash,
Yeah.
Money in the Bank, SummerSlam. Trilogy, it was a good trilogy of matches. Weren't anything to set your house on fire.
No. I love Cody.
Yeah.
I think he's fantastic, but is he...
Yeah.
Gunther? No.
Weirdly, if Cody pulls it off this weekend, that probably would have made him Superstar of the Year. That on its own probably makes him Superstar of the Year for next year in one match.
Well, yeah, because we don't know what a year is in WWE, clearly.
We're going... I'm going to state on record, as I did earlier, that Slammy Awards go from January of one year to the Mania of the next year. It's a weird-ass year. When we get to this Christmas coming up, 2024, and we do our 2024 We'll Make a Fun Out of You awards, we will set our rules and it will be January to January.
Yeah.
But until then,
we'll
go by WWE
go
rules.
with WWE rules. And fans, if you want to think of a better name than We'll Make a Fan Out of You awards, let us know.
The Whamafoy
The
Awards.
Whamafoy awards, or that'd be nice.
Or anything else. Have we got anybody we can name it off after?
The Otis, no.
I nearly said what you were going to say. Not that one. The other one. We won't say it. We're going to cut this bit. This bit is not making the episode. We're going to stop at the... Before I say Whamafoy.
Yeah.
I was about to say Vince McMahon. Oh, dear. Right. So they were our Slammy Awards for the year. We're going to get them in and send them off. You've got Female Superstar of the Year was Rhea Ripley. Male Superstar of the Year was Gunther. Got Best Entrance went to Seth Rollins. Return of the Year we gave to CM Punk. Faction of the Year was the Judgment Day. Rivalry of the Year was R-Truth v. the Judgment Day. NXT Superstar of the Year was Tiffany Stratton. Match of the Year we've gave to Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley by Democracy.
Yep.
Oh my God moment of the year has gone to CM Punk.
No.
EO Sky's cash in. See, I want to give it to CM Punk.
EO Sky because
Sky's
it's Democracy.
Democracy. Social Star of the Year is Logan Paul. Breakout Superstar of the Year is Tiffany Stratton. If I can leave Social Star of the Year empty, I might just do that.
Yeah, it's a pointless one.
Yeah.
Because it's not R-Truth. He's been on
not.
my socials more than anyone else.
R-Truth definitely should be up there. Because we'd said Liv Morgan, we didn't even know was on. Why are we talking about this category? Gunther. Gunther's
Social Star
Male of the Year. Gunther could be, yeah. Right, thank you for listening to this week's episode. We're back next Monday, although this will be released as a bulk with a few other WrestleMania episodes and the Bray Wyatt episode. Don't forget, we're accepting any feedback. We're tough boys. We know we're going to make mistakes. People might spot things that we can improve.
We won't cry.
Hopefully we'll be able to do it slowly.
We won't cry, I promise. But yeah, just like what Aaron said, feedback. We want to continue. We want to stay consistent. Just, let us know. Don't forget, you can follow us Instagram, TikTok, X, and that's at Make a Fan of You. And if you do want to watch this podcast, we are on YouTube on We'll Make a Fan Out of You. And with that, hit the music.